The views expressed here are solely the opinions of the hosts and the guests, and not necessarily those of the network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. If you have an issue with the content of the show, please contact the show host. Thank you.
And just be aware, if you contact the show host, she may not care. But if you really do have a problem, let me know and we'll figure it out. But welcome everyone to the Paranormal Pride. I have a wonderful guest tonight. I think you guys will laugh a lot, but I am going to warn you up front that sometimes we get out of hand. Sometimes we get a little graphic, and sometimes it's very uncomfortable. But, you know, when you speak the truth, it gets uncomfortable sometimes. So just be aware of that. I'm going to suggest that if you have children in the room that you're listening on a headset. So, but my guest tonight is Farah Rose. She is a good friend of mine. I've known her and her family pretty much since I started doing this. So I'm going to bring Farah Rose up now, and we are going to get talking, and hopefully you guys have questions. Please ask them. She's going to be more than willing to answer them, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is Farah's webpage, because there is a lot of information on there so that you can help yourself. You can help yourself to all the prayers that they have written and gotten ready for you, so that you can help yourself. So we're going to help you guys do that. We're going to talk about her business, Prayers by the Bead. She makes beautiful jewelry. And so we got lots of stuff to talk about. Welcome, Farah.
Hi, Denise. It's so good to be back.
I'm just glad to have you here because, you know, you're one of the people that I miss when I'm not around.
You're so sweet. I love your sense of humor. You and your husband are just so much fun to be around. It's just like this time of year, I always tell people, it's like, if you're trying to reach me, I'm sorry, but there's 1,000 legions knocking at my door. You're going to have to get in line.
Oh, yeah. This time of year, finding Farah in the house is going to be unusual. She loves her outside time. She loves her plants and animals and all that. So just keep that in mind. Hey, Susan. Hello, Lori.
Hi, Susan. Hi, Lori.
So what has Farah been up to lately?
Well, Denise, as you know, and I'm not sure some of your guests know, I had an accident last year, so I really had to cut back on doing videos. If any of your people are new, I serve in the office of healing, exorcism, and deliverance. And this time of year, it is so insane right now because people, for whatever reason, any minor oppression is turning into major problems for people. And it's really hard for them to back up and understand that maybe there's something they could do about it. Maybe they possibly invited it in, or, you know, maybe it's just their imagination playing with them. So, you know, not only do I have the official calls from priests, pastors, exorcists, other deliverance ministers, but I also help people, like you were saying, at www.swordsofstmichael.org. It's difficult. It's a difficult time of year. It's like worse than Christmas. For some reason or other, Easter, everything's out of the woodwork, and everybody is scared about, you know, the environment, jobs, security, relationships. And I think worst of all, Denise, right now, what people are suffering from is a lack of confidence in their own identity. I think that right now is a very, very difficult time for people, especially when they turn on, like, as you know, you can't walk into any store and not have your mind full of, well, wow, maybe I should be a purple-haired tranny and, you know, get on the tranny train and go and make money in Europe. Or maybe I should identify with this kind of confusion going on in our culture today. And if you're offended, too bad. I'm sorry. This is the way it is. All right. You look in your pants. There's two things you can be. It is what it is. But with that kind of confusion thrown at you, and if you're suffering from gender dysphoria, I'm so sorry. That is so horrible, and it's just so difficult to live with. And I really identify with your pain because of my own pain. However, the truth will set us free. And when people are confused, they reach to all these things. I mean, alcohol, pills, I mean, you name it. That's what we do. We self-soothe. And this time of year, Easter is really, really hard on people, Denise. I hope I wasn't terribly impolite.
No, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, this has been, we're in a recession.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the original definition of recession,
yes,
considering that they've changed it on us, but we're in recession. We have
with the banks and everything,
20% increase on bacon and eggs, and so we can't even get that.
No,
there's so many things that are just upsetting the normal balance of things.
That thing you're pointing out right now, okay, you want to talk about recession? I was just telling Matthew, my husband, I said, you could go in a store a year ago and you could get 60 eggs for like $4 or $5. You had your grocery bill went twice as far. People can't understand why we've got over 40% inflation on most common goods that we use, and our gas is sky high, and people are wondering why they can't take care of their lives, much less their kids. It's a really hard time for everybody. However, one of these nights, I think we're going to talk about the fourth turning, which is a cycle of events that societies and cultures go through. And the fourth turning, first, second, third, we're about to go into a first, which is the happy, wonderful, gay, fabulous, everybody's doing great period. Well, we got a lot to suffer right now during the fourth turning. It's going to get nasty before it gets a little better.
Yeah. And when you say little, just a little, it's going to make us all choose. Well, we're going to have to make a decision.
I agree.
I just told my boss this a couple weeks ago. And I know that it's not, it's related, but it's not. This isn't a paranormal thing. This was, I'm talking to my boss and I said, she goes, is there anything I can do to help you? And I go, no, I'm just not a happy camper. Didn't mean to say it.
Yeah, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
She goes, are you sure there's nothing I can do to help you? And I said, no, I got to make a decision. I have to do something I have to do. There's nothing anybody else can do. And we're all at that crossroads right now. And we've got a lot of decisions to make in the next just over a year. Okay. So we've got a lot of decisions we have to make on what we're willing to put up with, what we're not. And I'm at that point right now. I'm not willing to put up with a lot of crap. I thought I was pissed off. Sorry, everybody. So thought I was pissed off when they shut everything down for COVID. I'm more now than I was then. So is
it because you're seeing more and more people walking down the street with masks that are ineffectual? Is it because you're walking into any kind of store and people are just glaring at you because you're standing too close to them or you're near touching them? Is it because people, their attention spans and their ability to be patient, myself included, I'm sorry, but people have no patience. They're driving like reckless fiends. They're acting like just jackasses. It's hard to be around. And if they're going to talk about this whole thing, there's another COVID virus and there's another thing going around. Yeah, well, they can shove it where the sun doesn't shine.
Well, that's one of the things that I just heard that on TV that there was another virus in Africa that is coming. It's like, I'm sorry. But
how many more?
Yeah, how many more? And what is the convenience of it coming during another election cycle?
Exactly. And that's when they seem to time this stuff, during or just before an election. So
Facebook user, we can't see your name. So if you could tell us your name, it'd be great. But thank you, Joanne. Do I think that they put the prices of grocery and blame it on the virus? Actually, the virus did kind of cause some of this, but it wasn't direct. It was more indirect from people not being able to work and all these other things that happened. I mean, we were just talking the other day, Bank of America, all across the country, right before COVID, got rid of all their drive-throughs, all of them.
Any coincidence there?
No, it was actually they didn't know. I mean, it was like they started taking them out a year and a half before that, and by the time that they got done, here they need drive-throughs to get through the banking stuff, because you couldn't walk into a Bank of America for like 6 months.
I mean, if we're going to go on the crazy train, I'm going to be in the head car. It was just like what happened with the Twin Towers. Okay. All these bankers didn't show up for work. Hello. I know. Bring my crazy hat. Here it is. But that's a valid question. Are the grocery prices affected by the virus? And from my experience, the grocers I know, the people that grow the food, the people that grow the cows, that, have dairy farms. I know people from Michigan to Idaho to Missouri that actually work hard, that have had to kill livestock, that have had to kill off chickens, that have had to, for an FDA ordered rule that says one case has been shown up in your area, so you're infected, and you need to make sure this does not go cross-contaminate another truck-to-truck delivery. Nothing. So is the food, directly affected by the virus? No. However, indirectly, like Denise says, if you look at the trickle-down effect of the lockdowns, the shutdowns, the stopping of China shipping our stuff to America, of the truck shortage, of people saying, hey, I can get a government check. What do I need to work a job for? Wow, I'm going to make more money sitting at home. Why do I want to go back to work, expose myself to a disease? I don't know how bad it is. It's a bad flu, people, a really bad flu. So we've got truckers sitting. Groceries aren't being delivered. We've got people not showing up for their job. So, hello, your grocery store is not stocked. We've got China neglecting to ship rice, beans, wheat, all kinds of stuff. So that's not getting to store shelves. So the prices went up. It's a snowball effect, really.
Oh yeah. It was a horrible, I mean, there was all kinds of stuff out there that, things that closed down that shouldn't have,
Yes.
For one example was, okay, so during the pandemic, I worked the whole time. So did Ron. We were all necessary employees. So was our son-in-law. So, but my daughters were not. But us, we were all working. Ron was in Walmart every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? He did not get sick from doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
He and as you heard with his face diaper, he went out there and he was working. If we were going to get sick, he would have been the one that brought it home. Tyler was in everybody's houses installing their internet because everything went to the internet.
Yep.
So here we are. We're out there doing what we got to do. I had people that yelled at me. I mean, physically yelled at me.
That's
about
crazy.
Not wanting to wear a mask. Did I not wear one? No. I still wore one out there for everybody else. I did not wear it for me. I knew I already had COVID and I was fine. I had people telling me, oh, well, the antibodies don't last that long. I said, they last at least 18 months to 2 years. But they were telling me how it worked. And I'm like, antibodies last as much as 2 years. Don't give me that. I had chicken pox when I was a kid. That lasted 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
But then I got them twice in 3 years, But I know
terrible.
I'm one of those weird people. I've had chicken pox 3 times.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I know. I get rare stuff, but it is what it is. But we got all this stuff going on out there. Did it affect the price of groceries? Yeah. What about all the stuff that went bad sitting in ships that they wouldn't unload?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just glad that everybody has been getting some more truth. You know, the truth will set you free, whether it's, you know, a little truth or a lot of truth. It's going to set you free. You're going to find out that we've been lied to. And a lot of us were sitting there telling people that they were lied to. And those that yelled at me, they're never going to tell me they're sorry. I mean, we actually had people threaten my family during
oh my gosh,
COVID. Yeah.
That's
Because
crazy.
I said I wasn't wearing. Yeah, Ron goes, good thing he didn't know about it.
Yeah, Ron would not put up with that at all.
But no, it is what it is. So during COVID, did you have a lot of people contact you about things that were happening in their homes, more oppression, more anything related to what you do as a deliverance counselor and
minister kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you something. Let's back up a little bit.
Her internet connection is
and
slow.
heard about. I think I had COVID before it officially came out. I think I had that fall before it was notified and everything else. Because I had a little bit of a flu bug and it kicked my butt and it went away. I didn't have any of the major symptoms anybody else did, but I think that I believe that COVID is a weaponized strain of the flu. Mm-hmm. So when everybody freaked out, beginning of 2020, what had happened is that when I do case calls, a lot of people I will do my best to meet with in person, you know, to help them out, because as a demonologist, I look for the demonic footprints, because as of anything else, if you're looking for an intruder into your house, you're looking for the point of entry. Mm-hmm. And when you look for an intruder in the world of your dreams,
your mic just gave out, sweetheart.
What's
okay? It's cutting out.
Okay, yeah, I just clicked something off. I don't know. I got an interruption. Sorry about that. So, you know, if you're looking to find out what's invading your dreams, you know, if you're having nightmares, if you're having smells in your home, if you're seeing dark shadows furtively run around, whatever it is that you're going through, there are footprints. And during COVID, the sad thing is, and I'm going to be really blunt here, it was a mind, F-U-C-K, from the word go. Mm-hmm. They knew they were going to launch it. They knew they were going to do it. If it wasn't released in China, it would have been released in Russia. Why do I say that? I have friends that work in immunology mm-hmm. and disease control for Pfizer and other companies that are not allowed to talk, are not allowed to say anything, but they said that they were surprised it took so long to be let go. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a little flu bug, cute little flu bug that was taken into a laboratory and given new stick pins and released. Why? Because this is, and I'm going to go back here a little bit, kids, so that everybody's on board with my crazy train. If you go back and if anybody follows TED Talks feature some of the brightest minds, the brightest ideas. Cost a lot of money to get on unless you're somebody like Bill and what's her name, Gates. In, I think it was 1989 or 1988, he went on to TED Talks saying the biggest threat to our world right now is COVID. How is the flu? How is that a threat to our world? It's not Ebola. It is not something that causes your guts to explode. How is a flu bug? Now let's take the numbers, which I don't have in front of me, Denise, of, you know, flu. People die from the flu. Why? Because they have pre-existing conditions. Who did they try to wipe out during COVID? The elderly, the young, and the adolescents, not the healthy workers.
No, because they need us. They need us.
No, they don't. They need us to feed the machine. Sorry, that is what it is. So when we're talking about spiritual warfare and deliverance, people were freaking out thinking it's the end of the world. Oh my gosh, what's going on? So I think that the level of oppression invited in by this demonically induced satanic worldwide incident was there to scare the hell out of people into following. You will obey. You will do what we say. You will be compliant. Now, let's not talk about the fluoride they've been feeding the public for what, almost 100 years now? That is a neurotoxin that makes your brain pliable. Let's not talk about the, the high fructose corn syrup that disables your liver, your biogenome in your large intestine, that, hello, keeps your brain healthy and smart. No, let's not talk about any of that. Let's talk about the oppression of the Satanists. Go ahead, Denise.
No, I was just waving at Rosalie.
Hi, Rosalie.
See,
So glad you can make it.
Old home day.
I know. And the sad thing is we can't talk about any of this stuff, any of this spiritual warfare. And I was talking to my husband about this the other day. You cannot look at events like this that are specifically slated to not only destroy people's minds, destroy people's sense of security and safety within their own home. I mean, hello, can you imagine living in a home and wearing one of them stupid masks around your family? Don't people realize that you exhale the virus? Those masks are meant to keep your good air in and exhale the virus. So people are walking into Walmart, breathing the virus on people, thinking, I'm keeping people safe. It's like, okay, you know, I did body piercing years ago. Mm-hmm. I was trained by a registered nurse that was a charge nurse for a hospital. Those little cute little masks they told us to put on, you were spreading the virus. And if you don't believe me, do the research, ask the questions.
And how many people didn't change their mask every 20 minutes?
No, exactly.
Yeah, Barbara, not only do I like Farah, she knows I love her. So like I said, we've been friends. We don't know which one's the worst influence.
Well, it kind of goes both ways.
I think it's Farah. So just saying. But yeah,
I think
you know, I'm pretty sure you probably did have it beforehand. Like you said, because we all met for dinner in December, beginning the first weekend in December. And Ron and I came down with it just after.
Wow. Yep.
So we were all together, me and you and Susan and Mike and
I thought I just got over it the first week of November. So I might have carried it to you. I don't even know if I should feel guilty about that. I like being a carrier. As long as it's alcohol.
No, it is what it is. Sure.
I mean, there's no way we could have known. We couldn't have known. It's like a cold. You're going to shake hands with somebody. You're going to scratch your eye. Boom. Either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. Yep. Okay. It's like people are like, oh, what can I do? How about take care of your gut biome? How about take care of your large intestine? Feed your large intestine. What's that?
How about some people needed to wash their hands? I mean, that was the biggest thing that came out of this.
Isn't that the truth? Wash your hands.
I see more people washing their hands now than I've ever seen, or at least I used to. They're not doing it now. I see people walk out of the restroom at Walmart and just go. They look.
Yeah, they just walk right on out, right by the water. And it's like, okay, if people only understood, if they only traveled overseas and saw their, shall we say, they don't provide fresh water. They don't provide fresh soap unless you're paying for it. They will not. You'll go overseas and you know what? You'll be lucky if you get a bucket of water. Yeah. A lot of places overseas don't have it.
No. Well, hopefully, we all know that things are going to happen.
Yes, we do. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. When and how and everything else. It's just, so we know that. We do have something from April I wanted to address because April had some things going on at her house. This is all paranormal now.
Okay.
And I gave her some advice and I don't know if this is still the same problem, but we're gonna look at it from your point of view. So
Great.
So April said it started when her husband went out of town, and I saw in my mind an entity that flew down the stairs and into my bedroom to attack me when I was asleep. That night, I had nightmares. Then, I'm going to screw this up. Obadiah had nightmares. My camera caught what looked like a bird figure on my home cameras.
Oh, shit.
So this is my cousin. She has 7 boys. She has cameras in her house to catch everything that's going on because of different things in their life. So, and she adds in now, I am pretty sure it's gone because nothing is on the cameras anymore and no more nightmares. However, Ezra tells me he can't sleep in the bottom bunk of his bed because he feels weird in his stomach when he's there.
Okay, I have a couple questions for you. She's got 2 teenage boys, right? That are 13 and 15.
She's got 7 boys, so I'm gonna go with in that age range. Yeah, she's at least got 2 in that age range, if not more.
Okay. I would tell her, one, I would check their phones and I would check the internet. I think something was invited for this kind of level of activity. Something was invited in. I'm not saying that her children are practicing anything, but I think there might be an incident of curiosity with the children about viewing porn, possibly, or looking at some of the innocent things that kids, and people think that porn is not invitational. I think, oh yeah, porn's just harmless and all little boys look at it. We're not talking about the innocent Playboy that used to be like popular and lascivious back in 49. We're talking about bestiality, and we're talking about, all kinds of hooks and anchors and all kinds of things attached to people that kids just don't have the mindset to even understand what the hell's going on or what they're looking at.
And it's subtle. It's subtle, yeah, to where they don't even notice it.
I was talking about this with my husband the other night. You can't turn on Facebook. You can't turn on YouTube without seeing, almost full breast exposed with almost the nipples showing. You can't, these children cannot walk into a store without seeing, a butt exploded to twice excited, size in their face, with like underwear on. Everything is so sexualized in these children's eyes that they're going to be curious. And for her husband to have nightmares, I think that it's definitely an accidental invitation by the boys, and how to close it, especially with one of the kids saying, I'm feeling sick in my stomach. I mean, that's an indicator that something is going on with the boys that has seeped over into where she's seeing it and experiencing it.
Well, she says they're both into anime. When I saw the bird thing, I thought of a Japanese demon. Well, anime is all sexualized. All
yes.
Of it. I have not seen, except for, maybe the Pokemon.
That makes
but the Pokemon females are sexualized.
Yep.
They put them in form-fitting clothes to where there leaves nothing to the imagination.
Nothing at all. I mean, it's like they're practically nude under a sheer sheet.
Yeah, and it's sad when you think about it from that standpoint.
I think that's part of it's part of the agenda to destroy our minds, our families, our trust, our identities. Remember, I opened the show by saying people are confused. Identity, gender dysphoria, identity dysphoria. And maybe she needs to take a look at the anime and say, you know what, you guys, you can play this anime, but this anime is no longer allowed. Maybe she just needs to put some boundaries in place and keep to it.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah. And I'm with you on that, Barbara. She says you just turn on the TV and it's all porn now.
It is. It's all soft porn.
Okay. So an example. I'm going to give you an example of something that has changed drastically since it went to streaming. And I know everybody doesn't watch this, okay? Days of Our Lives started when I was a baby. Okay.
Oh my
So
gosh. You're not
watched,
that old, Denise. You're not that old.
but Days of Our Lives started in November of 1965.
Oh my gosh.
And it's still on, but it's now on streaming. They took it off of network TV.
Wow.
Since they took it off network TV and put it on Peacock, it's all sexual. I mean, there was sex, implied sex before. Now it's like everything's sex. They are showing threesomes. They're showing all this other stuff. Yeah, showing all this stuff that never showed on network TV. And it's like, and it's harder to fast forward it to get past it because I don't want to see it. I don't mind the storyline, but I'm getting bothered by the storyline now. But again, the TV's behind me. I don't see it all day because this is where I sit to work all day. I don't see it, but I hear it. And I'm like, my daughter even noticed it. I was watching.
Can I interrupt you for 2 seconds? Because I want to talk some more about this Days of Our Lives thing. When your friend is worried about this level of anime they could be exposed to, please, 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 you must know that what has been put in your child, what your child's seen, cannot be unseen. And the demons will use that over and over and over again to destroy their peace, to destroy their dreams, and to destroy any sense of connection with their parents. It will divide your family big time. She's got to stop it.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, it takes away the innocence.
Yes.
Of not
they
only
have more innocence.
Yeah. I think innocence is I used to think it was overrated. Okay.
Yeah.
We all did. But you know what? I think that's what we need. We need innocence. We need to have something similar to what it was like in the 50s. I'm not saying be unaware, because in the 50s, a lot of people were unaware. In the 70s, we were still unaware, but we knew stuff was starting to happen in the 70s.
Exactly.
We knew that there were.
It's not like this stuff wasn't available then. People were shooting up. They were hiring whores. They were having threesomes. They were playing, transsexual games with each other. However, it was not in the public. It was not in schools. It was not, you couldn't go into your local bar. You couldn't go into a movie theater and go see a tranny show before you catch the real show. This stuff was kept in back corners, in bar rooms that you had to know a passcode to get into. Now they're shoving it down our mother freaking throats. I'm sorry, God. It's Easter week, but this makes me sicker than shit.
Well, one of the things that people need to understand about back in those days, what was in your bedroom was in your bedroom, and it wasn't.
That's right.
Public, and that's where it belongs.
Exactly. It's nobody's business.
Right. And
nobody.
As long as you're not, as long as my kids don't have, actually, as long as I don't see it, and you're not hurting children or hurting anyone but yourself, then that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
You are an adult, you make your decisions. And I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. I don't mean it that way. But again, I just feel like whatever you're doing in the privacy of your own home and it's not hurting children is okay. I am not out there.
I'm not interested in offending people. I'm interested in telling people that, you know what, if they're uncomfortable with themselves, it's not something that I would do on purpose to make them uncomfortable. But if they're uncomfortable, they need to seek help as to why they're uncomfortable, what I have to say. Because what I have to say it's not what I'm talking about. It's just the way right order is. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's just right order. If you're not right ordered, well, then I guess you're not going to be at peace. And that makes people uncomfortable, Denise.
Too bad.
God help you.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I just don't have,
I'm
not outside. I'm not outside in the public kissing and rubbing on my husband. And
I am
married almost 40 years. Well, you married a younger guy.
I know, it's so cute.
But no, I'm not in public doing this stuff because I'm not comfortable with my sexuality out in public.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I mean, I used to wear shorts where my butt hung out and all this other crap back in the day.
Private. You are not a public sexual being. I get it. I get it.
And I want my stuff to be. Ron still does it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just lucky I get him to wear clothes every day. I'm sorry. Of course, we got a story for tomorrow night that Carl's going to love. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night at 5:00 for Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal. We've got some fun things to share. But you're right. There are so many things out there that, we all get offended by. And you know what? I don't get offended.
I don't either. It's like if people have a problem that because, I'm a Hispanic chick that says what's on my mind and I don't like demons and I don't like people that are having problems and I'm trying to help them, that's their problem, not mine.
So one of the things I want to share with everybody tonight is you have a wonderful webpage, one that has lots of resources on it that are very helpful to people dealing with oppression, attachments.
Yep.
I've shared a lot of your prayers.
Thank you so much.
Over the years, I've had a couple of people that were uncomfortable with some of them. I adjusted them a little bit, but not anything major, just something that was easier for them to
receive.
Yep.
To receive.
Yep. And so I want to share this with all of you. So I know that this is a little bit, it's small, but I shared the website in there. And when you look at this, you can see on the Swords of St. Michael that there's lots of information. So I know there's a lot of people out there that feel like they have a curse on them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've used this one many times because, yes, there are home blessings in here as well. But the big thing is when you're reading these, that you read it all, and that you do. I mean, are there still instructions with these? I know that Ken used to say, like with this one, do it for 27 days. Oh, here we go.
There may not be, because I'm having Jacob rework the website to include more prayers, because Denise, as you know, we are becoming an impatient society that wants it instantly. So I've included a lot of short prayers, a lot of short binding prayers that people can just do for 7 days or 9 days. So some of them have instructions, some of them don't. There's a place to email me specifically in case you have a question, whether it's your teenager, whether it's your husband, whether it's yourself. Never be embarrassed to ask questions, because it's just like with everything else, we must be specific. We must be specific.
So if you want to contact Farah, here is where you can do that at. There's contact us under the About Us. Make sure that you check out the Prayers by the Bead, because she makes some of the most beautiful pieces of jewelry, and you can customize those correct?
Oh, gosh, yes. Whether you want, a guardian angel for your earrings, or you want, let's just say you want an exorcism metal ring, anything's customizable. And if you can't find what you like, you can always email me at prayersbythebead.com, or you can find me on Etsy by searching Prayers by the Bead. And whatever you need for your own spiritual protection, for your own sense of peace. A lot of people say, well, isn't that just like a talisman? Isn't that just like, a medicine pouch for an Indian or whatever? Isn't that just another form? And I tell people, in many ways, what binds you? Religion means to bind. So what binds you and what keeps you at peace is what's going to set you free. So if you want to believe that, the Great Spirit in the sky is going to give you peace, that's my God, that's my Jesus Christ. If you want to say that it's Yeshua, that's your faith. That's what's going to set you free, because we're all on more paths. We're all on our own journeys. And I can't tell you what's going to get you peace. I can only share with you, like Denise is, the prayers that I know that will bind ugly, negative, demonic influences away from you, so you can get closer to your peace.
So as you can see, I've been scrolling through some of the books that they have.
Yes, I wrote most of the Christian Demonologist. And Denise, I've been so bad. I'm hoping to start writing again so I can get out that haunted investigation. And my husband's encouraging me to do another book on, on case studies that I've gotten over the years since,
well,
I'm
if
antique now.
you need a proofreader or some material, let me know.
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. I want to hug you.
And just so you guys know, I have all but the Catholic Demonologist series. So
yeah, you do. You do.
Well, I got this one here as a gift for one of my birthdays from you guys. I had gotten these other ones from you guys as an anniversary gift. And so I have all of those. They're good news.
And it's all because you're a bookworm. You are such a bookworm.
And I have this one too. So I can tell you guys, you want to read this information because it is enlightening. It's not flights of fancy like some, some paranormal books go into, I experienced this and I experienced that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't tell you how to solve the problem, how to keep the problem from reoccurring. What is, what else do you need to know? You're going to find it in these books. The workbooks are going to help you really figure out this workbook and study guide. It's going to help you. It's similar to Bible study.
It is.
And so I love these books. And of course, mine are very special to me for a lot of reasons. I'm not going to get into that, but they're very special to me because, you guys always from day one, we've been close from the first time we met, even though you thought, hey, this is weird. This person's inviting us to dinner. We don't even know him. And we all met up and that was it.
Oh, there was a reason we were all supposed to get together.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it is the strangest thing, but
it is.
But you guys, please check these out. They might be a little dated at this point, but it's all still valid information.
It really is.
Yeah.
And thank you for reminding me. I've got to finish updating the Catholic Demonologist and get it out and that includes a Christian Demonologist because I have much more information. It's just, sometimes Denise, it gets overwhelming and it's like with a new marriage and moving and selling the house and then breaking my back. It's like, oh my gosh.
And so guys, just check out this website. You're going to find so much information out there that you're not going to see in a lot of other sites. They're not going to tell you, exercise salt. So Farah, what do we use exercise salt for?
Hello. Are you having stomach issues? Are you having nightmares? And you decide, well, you know what? I think I'm going to get some pasta or something for bed. Sprinkle some exercise salt right in your food, right in your water. You eat it. Leave a pound of it on your doorstep.
You don't put it on your doorstep?
You can if you're experiencing a severe haunting like smells, being touched, but you don't need it. If you're being attacked, I would eat it because it would protect you. However, if you've got the actual, which is pretty rare, I've had so many cases lately where somebody believed that they were touched or felt that they were seeing something, and it was actually, it wasn't really there. And I think that's the hardest thing. And that, we've got to discern what is being attacked in our imagination and what is actually physical in our hands. So yeah, you can use it on your doorstep, but why bother? You might as well eat it. Unless it's a severe infestation, you can sprinkle it across the doorstep and ask Christ to protect your home.
Yeah. And from what I'm seeing here, you might as well, if you do canning, utilize
put it right in your peaches and your potatoes. Yeah, exactly.
You got it made. And well, you can
and
also
the prayers. Okay, if people are worried about, well, how do I get exercise salt? You take some pure sea salt to call up a local Catholic church, Orthodox church, Episcopal churches do it too, and Lutheran churches do it too. Take the prayers, to the priest or pastor and say, here, I need this blessed. And they read the blessing, they bless it, you're good.
Can you do it yourself?
I'm going to say yes and no. All right. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say yes and no. Now, as you and I know, there's different levels of infestation and oppression. And sometimes when, somebody thinks, well, gosh, I really, I can handle this myself. You probably can't. The insane person that knows they're insane, they're probably not. The person that's insane that thinks they're sane probably is. So in this case, it's best to have a pastor or priest who's been specially anointed to take care of it. Can you do it yourself? Yes, you can. The caveat being here is that when we are assaulted and oppressed, we have the ultimate authority of having the deposit of divine Holy Spirit of Christ inside of ourselves to exercise, bind, bless, whatever we want to. Like I said, the level of that oppression and the level of that malevolence directed to you at your home, at your children, that's when I would call in, shall we say, the A team? Take it to church.
Yeah. So as you can see, you've got that information right here in the website. So
and they can just print it up or take their phone and say, here, do this, please.
Yep.
It's not difficult. That's their job. They will.
So just keep that in mind. So, you've got lots and lots of information here, but, just keep on reading and I guarantee you're going to find something. And if you go down here and you watch the Formerly Demonology Today radio show, don't be surprised who you might see.
That's a fact. You never know. There's going to be guests. There might be Denise. There might be exorcists. There might be other guests.
There was all
a
kinds.
little bit of everybody. Oh, yeah. We had a little bit of everybody.
And it was great. And, if you guys saw the show when I had on Reverend Mike Norton, he is on there all the time. And we had a great time. We learned a lot from each other. And check it out, people, please. You are going to find a wealth of knowledge and things that you're going, I didn't know that. Because, every time I look, there's something else I didn't know that I just learned.
I'm still learning, Denise. I am still learning. At the ripe old age of almost 60, I am still learning, honey. We all have so much.
If we stop learning, we're dead.
I agree. We're in the ground because life flies by so very fast. And the minute we stop saying, well, wow, maybe there's something I don't know, we're dead. I agree. Any questions?
The dream interpretation stuff, because mine are starting to make way more sense. So April started talking about Mike Norton has some dream interpretation stuff on his website. Do you have any advice for people trying to interpret their dreams?
Don't.
Is it just random, or do you think that there's meaning in them?
Okay. For two reasons. Number one, the legions of demonics are always ready to fill in the gaps and say, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's this. So whenever we look to another source other than God and say, wow, I better get my dream interpreted because that was really horrible and that was really nasty. Well, if you're having a horrible, nasty dream, say, okay, God, get this crap away from me. I bind it away from me. Get behind me, Satan. Get rid of it. However, let's say, like, I don't know, I think you and I talked about this with Ron one night. If you have the same dream over and over and over for years in a row, like I always had this end of the world dream where, the wave was crashing over me and stuff like that. If you have something like that, it's not so much dream interpretation that you're looking for. It's a validation of what this dream represents to you. And B, do you want to stop it? Is it bothering you? So, when people say, well, gosh, should I go interpret my dreams? Do I need? No. Why? For the same reason if some fool idiot that looks like, vampires walking down your hallway and looks like a shadow, you don't go, hey, what you doing here, bro? Do not acknowledge it. It is like one of the worst. It's like when you're having a nasty dream, it's an invitation. Come play with me. Like the little doll that looks at you and turns its head and you're like, what are you doing? Ignore, and flippin' ignore the demon. Go ahead.
Nothing. My daughter was walking down the hall and I was just covering her up.
Oh, good idea. Okay, nobody can see my daughter now. The reason I say, no to dream interpretation is that, 20, 30 years ago, that was all the rage. I mean, back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, everybody was like, ooh. And then they turned to, because of my history and background in psychology and psychiatry and, my intense studying of the Diagnostic Statistician's Manual for the Mentally Ill, dreams, number one, are just like a leftover burp from food. 2, dreams, on the other hand, can be a gift of the preternatural spirits. And what do I say gift for? Because we're all appointed a guardian angel upon our spicy hot spot put in our mother's belly. We get that guardian angel, okay, kids? Second, you may have some nasty demonics following your family, just waiting to invite you to do something disgusting like, I don't know, let's say murder your neighbor, invest in Pornhub. I don't know what your temptations are, but those demonics are
you
calling
saying you need to invest in Pornhub? I hear there's lots of money in that.
The sad thing is that where there's a Pinocchio land, there's a donkey growing every moment for that.
Ron didn't even know Pornhub existed until COVID, and I said something. So,
but serious, you know what I'm talking about. You do, you get it. And what I'm trying to share with your audience in a very, very, I'm sorry, it's acerbic, it's ridiculous. And a lot of people are like, oh, how can you laugh? How come you're not serious? How come you're like this? Because if I didn't laugh at the demonics, they're going to take me serious and irritate me. And I'm not going to be irritated by them. I'm going to laugh at them and get rid of them. Your negative, I know, your negative, nasty, ugly dreams, it's an invitation to hurt you, to haunt you, to hit you, to make you look away from the God that loves you and twist your mind. Do not engage. Do not acknowledge. Say, okay, I had a crappy dream. Say a prayer. Bind it away from you.
So here's some more information. She says that she's dreamed of real life things that come true, not metaphorical dreams, real life things. So how do we deal with that? Since that's, not metaphorical, like some of the things that we do dream about. How do we deal with the stuff that's real?
Why do we have to deal with it at all? I mean, it happens. Do we want to give credit to some imaginary sweet angel that gave it to us? Or do we want to understand that preternatural demons do the same things? How do they think psychics get rich? It's not because they're talking to their guardian angels that's helping that person. Deja vu happens all the time. But that does not mean it's from a good source. So how do we deal with it? We say, oh, okay, whatever. We ignore it. So it happened. So what? We just got confirmation because somebody put it in our mind, some entity that, maybe I'm special. Maybe I'm a prophet. Maybe there's something wonderful about me. The biggest lie that the demon has is to get in your mind and mess with your head. And dreams are no different. So you had a dream that came true. I've had lots of dreams that come true. Does that mean I'm special? No. Does that mean I have a guardian angel that loves me and wants me to learn about my future? No. It's an invitation to dance with a demon, period. Sorry, I don't mean to be so exuberant, but I have more people that want to speak in tongues, that want to see the future, that have horrible oppressions, horrible dissociative identity disorder, dysphoria disorders. It's invitational and it scares me for people.
I know a lot about this subject, especially, you sit there, you said something about mediums and psychics, and you know that some of your best friends can see and hear spirits, and we're not making money off of it. And half of us aren't even telling anybody half the time what we see.
Because you don't talk about it. You're not supposed to talk about it, and you're not supposed to share it, Denise. We know that.
Well, sometimes I do because I feel the need to, but
but that's different.
I don't share most of the time. I mean, it's not like I'm going to walk up. I'm not going to walk up to the lady in the grocery store that's got somebody following her.
But you're not going to give yourself credit. You're not going to say, oh, I am the amazing Madame Denise. Come and worship at my feet.
No,
you're not that full of BS.
I have to do that.
Yeah, that's his job.
That's because you're her husband. If you don't do that, I come after you and I steal your 4 roses.
I steal your 4 roses. Hey. Or our Blantons. So,
but yeah, that's different. And there are wonderful spiritual gifts, but we do not talk about them. We do not advertise them. We do not share them unless God encourages us to help another. That's just, no, we don't do that.
When you're talking about this, does one of the things that I heard you say, maybe I didn't hear it right, but maybe I'm reading between the lines. And I don't mean that this way. I mean this way, really through the lines. Okay. Because I do. We all know sarcasm's my first language, and it's going to get me in trouble one day.
You're sarcasm, I'm snarkasm. That's why we fit together.
So, when you talk about this, is it always in your dreams? Is it always a demon? If we dream about Grandpa, who was a weird guy.
No.
Is it our family? Is it a demon? Is it just a memory that we're having? Is it something that's
really good question? Okay. It's not always a demon. How do we know this? All right. A lot of people base their whole lives on their feeling. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? Okay. You know what? Lick yourself. How do you feel about that? Feelings lie. Dreams can lie. Images can lie. I could see my grandfather standing at the end of my bed. Do I know that's my grandfather for sure? No. Do I talk to him? No. Do I think it's a demon? No. I just, might say, thank you, God, for letting me see my grandfather. I miss him so, and go back to sleep. I would never talk to him. I would never address him. I would never invite it in case it is demonic. When you have a dream of a deceased loved one, when you wake up, your skin, your mind, your mouth, your stomach, all of your senses are going to tell you this is right or this is wrong. When I talk about right order, there's only 2 ways to feel. Either you're feeling, that was really okay, that's nice, and then you forget about it because it was a quick gift. Or you're like, wow, I saw my grandfather. What does that mean? And you're led down a rabbit hole of bullshit. Okay? It takes discernment to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't waste a lot of time on, when I get dreams and they're really out there. Okay.
Yeah. Vivid.
And I'll tell Ron about them, but I won't focus on them. Sometimes it's like watching a movie.
Yes.
Okay? Everybody knows that I hate them. I mean, I like the movie The Village, but it bothers me. It irritates me. It pisses me off. And so when I have a dream that's like The Village, I get a little bit pissed off, and then I let it go. I just talk about it, let it go, and I move on. And if you guys haven't seen The Village, watch it and see how you feel. M. Night Shyamalan does a great job at making you guess what's going to happen next.
Oh, and can I say something about M. Night Shyamalan?
What?
The first time I saw his movie, I knew there was something about him that just resonated with me. And guess what I found out?
He's sarcastic?
No. He had the same experience I did. He drowned.
Oh.
And he saved his watch from the drowning that stopped at the exact time. He lost consciousness and then started again in the emergency room when they revived him. Or not the emergency room, but the ambulance attendants took him to the emergency room. Yeah. And I was like, that's why that guy did this. He drowned too. He knows it. And it's like, if you watch any of his movies, he incorporates what happened in his after, I don't know what you call it, near-death experience. It's like, yeah, he's got some weird ideas.
See, I did not know that he had drowned. I drowned.
I know.
Yeah, my dad saved me, and it was, I still remember the day, but I was 7. Guess what I know how to do? I know how to swim now.
Me too.
Which is why I'm moving to the beach, because I can swim.
Exactly. But yeah, that movie you're talking about is pretty, it is so mind-blowing. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I want to do that.
But then you see more of it, and then you go, you just question their sense.
Well, look at the broken lives. Okay, you want to talk about spiritual warfare? Mm-hmm. Look at the PTSD and the trauma and the broken emotional morass that got together to create that bigger, shall we say, delusion. So their children would never experience the PTSD and trauma. They were so trauma bonded, they had to stop the bus and control everything. That's demonic.
That is. That to me, it felt as if you're not giving your children the ability. Yeah, you're not giving them the ability to make the decision that they need to make. And then to send off a child or a young woman who can't, well, I don't really want to go into that. I want people to watch it and then tell me how they feel.
Yeah,
because
we don't want to do spoilers here.
So you guys do your homework, see The Village, and one show, we will talk about it. I'll have Farah back on, and we will talk about The Village.
We'll talk about the whole movie from start to finish, because I love that, you guys. If you guys are not familiar with my YouTube channel, Swords of St. Michael, I do this series called Can Demons Do That? And I parse the movie out bit by bit. Do demons do that? Do they act like that? It's really cool, because that's how I watch movies. It's like, that's demonic. Oh, that's not demonic. Oh, that's mentally ill.
Well, that's kind of like how I mean, I'm always watching stuff and I always know what's going to happen next. Always,
yes.
Every single time. M. Night Shyamalan, not so much. He does something to me that, and I don't believe that it's demonic what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I just believe that he's lived some of the lives that we've lived. So he understands what people are. I can't even speak about him very well. And Virgil he's saying hello from Manchester, England, and he's offered. Hi, Virgil. He says, my grandfather was a great guy. I was devastated when he went to the electric chair. He was a serial killer, but he didn't mean it. And I don't know and he was a great attorney, he said. I don't know if Virgil, it's a great story. I don't know how to address that. And I do understand it because I've lived that life. My grandfather was a serial killer. So, and back to, we were talking about the website, Family Curses.
Can I address Virgil real quick?
Yes, please.
Because when you have someone in your family that commits this kind of heinous crime, and, that comment comes out that he didn't mean it, his soul and spirit may not have meant it, but he had a physical choice to either cooperate with that demonic invitation or walk away from it. So saying he didn't mean it does not mean that his grandfather wasn't culpable. I think Virgil's grandfather was probably very oppressed, possibly possessed, and he wished he could have helped his grandfather, because I've talked to a few parents or children that had parents or that had murdered.
Well, again, we know somebody.
Yeah, we do know somebody very well.
So who
doesn't even remember it.
Yeah, and the thing is at this point in time, almost everybody involved in the paranormal has seen this story. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Because we we know
We know, we know
that.
what really happened. So it's like, why would you go and
It's
check out
just
a made
right.
for Hollywood movie?
Yeah, it's
Not
just
only
like,
that, it's like, yeah,
it's
it's
just
hard.
like Karen Smurl's story. We know the
Yeah,
story. Why would we go watch it when we've heard it from the people who survived it? Same as,
exactly.
Deb and Arnie's story. We know their story from their mouth.
Yes, correctly.
Without the embellishment of Hollywood. We know the truth. And
Exactly.
it is amazing of the stuff that we've been privy to hear.
I know things that the public will never know.
No.
And
I think that some people were right. We can't handle the truth.
No, we can't. And that is a good point. When you talk about COVID, when you talk about the paranormal, most of us cannot handle the truth.
That's true. And
yes, we are talking about Deb and Arnie's story.
Yeah. And like I said, if you guys go back and watch some of the episodes from Demonology Today, you'll hear straight from Deb and sometimes Arnie's mouth exactly what they survived.
And I think Ken actually had Carl on once too. As a matter of fact, when Ken originally started, when he started, not Demonology Today, but the one before the Paramigos, he actually started a paranormal show with Deb's brother.
Oh,
I don't know if it's still, the archives are still out there, but yeah, he goes back
I'll look it up.
Long way.
Was he
How
doing?
long ago was it?
Yeah, Ron just asked how long ago.
Gosh, it was like at least 8-10 years before me. So we're talking about 17, 18 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It was a long time ago.
And was he doing it under Ken Deal at the time?
I think he was doing it under, I don't remember the name. I'll have to look it up. But that was way back when he was with Alan Rupnick. And some paranormal people I don't even know, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Remember him.
And then that's how he talked Deb into doing it with him.
Well, what's funny is Ron always tells everybody that he always knew when Ken was calling me because I couldn't get a word in edgewise. And
that's hard to do.
And that's hard to do because I am a talker and he.
No, not you, Denise.
So, well, you do know I'm coming up on my 8-year anniversary of the show.
That's amazing.
So that tells you that's about how long we've known you. We've known you is about 8 years. Of course, we know the history is longer than that. Even though we've only known each other, we've known each other forever. Even though we've only physically in this world known each other 8 years.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So April asked, can demons take the form of insects like a spider or a bee? My answer is yes, but what's yours, Farah?
Well, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on that. The legions of demons are like Roman legions. There's some serious generals, there's some minor generals, and there's some, foot soldiers. And when you talk about demons being able to take the shape of anything that we can identify as safe, it's by 1, God's permissible will, 2, the available strength of the demon to affect you. So can they take the form of a bee? All demons, when they are allowed to oppress you, have a prime directive. Whether their prime directive for you and your family is alcoholism, porn addiction, sexploitation, pedophilia, masturbation, addictions, whatever their prime directive is to hurt you, for them to be able to take the appearance of a spider or bee would be towards that prime directive. So why would a demon appear as a spider? Well, you know what? If it is to get your attention, to show you something that they want you to focus on, yes. But why would they bother? When demons want to lie to you, they want to invite you, they don't really want to scare you. They want to dance with you and they want you to think that there's something wonderful. So they basically They love bomb you into a narcissistic relationship. And you can't really love bomb somebody by showing them a spider and scaring the crap out of them. And if you're coming at them with a bunch of buzzing bees, that's going to scare somebody. That's not going to invite them to play suck face or dance, and demons, they really want to get in your head and make you love them. So yes, but they won't bother.
So
not usually.
I think that they can. Do I know that
They
for
can.
sure?
Of course they can.
But again,
But
you're right. Why would you want to present yourself as something that might possibly be ugly?
Yeah. Why would they want to be scary?
Right.
They want to play with you.
So I would be more scared of I don't know. Maybe you should be more scared of the dragonfly that won't leave you alone than a bee that buzzes by you and keeps on going.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
We did have a dragonfly that basically followed us down at Jack's Fork. It's not far from where you live. We were on this boat, this little canoe. It was a float. Raft. We were on a raft, and this dragonfly rode on my leg off and on for like 45 minutes. Wow. And like I said, if it had been a bee, it had been a whole different ball game. I would not have cared if it hung around, but this dragonfly felt like a family member. Was it? I don't know. But yeah, and ants, yeah. He said, Virgil says bees are, our great granddad said before his execution that bees are like aircraft carriers for ants.
Oh my. Hey, listen, Denise, my phone is about to die. I got to grab a cord. So keep the conversation for 2 seconds.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a quick break while you do that.
Because I got to grab a cord.
Okay, go do that. And
okay, I'm grabbing a cord. Be right back, guys.
Everybody will be right back in just a couple minutes. So go get a drink, whatever you need, and come on back. And as Farah would say, go get you some cheese.
Heck yeah, it's time for cheese time.
In the time when the world around us was falling apart, I answered the call. I left and you called me a hero. When I returned, you didn't care. Now you treat me as an outcast? 22. That's how many of my brothers and sisters die each day. 22. Every day I struggle with my demons. Every day is a war that I feel I'm losing. Every day I wonder if I'll be number 22. I fought so you could keep your freedom. The least you could do is acknowledge my existence.
The views expressed here are solely the opinions of the hosts and the guests, and not necessarily those of the network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. If you have an issue with the content of the show, please contact the show host. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back. I hope everybody's having a great time tonight. And if you do have any questions for Farah, please put them in the chat. She's more than willing to answer them. She's always a great wealth of knowledge. And is she from Wisconsin? No, I believe she's from New Mexico, but Seattle, Washington. You know what? We'll ask her because she's lived everywhere. She's talked to me about Albuquerque before. She's talked to me about Washington before, California, and all over the place. So she's kind of like me, been everywhere, lived everywhere, and now she's in this beautiful town in Missouri that is very peaceful and quiet. And I want to tell you guys, next week, I will not be having a show next Monday. I will be out of town. We're going to be looking at some places to live and hopefully be doing a show at some point from the beach so that maybe you guys could I'm looking for that haunted beach. I'll tell you when I find one.
So we can rub it in.
Yeah, so we can rub it in that we're investigating at the beach. So bring back Farah here. Are you ready to come back? Shake your head, yes. Ready to come back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Farah's back. Where are you from?
Oh, good
Born.
Lord. Where am I from? Okay, home is where your clothes are. I was born on a naval submarine, it was a naval shipyard base in Virginia, and I love the beach.
Are you telling me you were born in Newport News?
No, I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia.
That's where my sister lives.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than it was, but I love the beach, and I can't really say I'm from anywhere because, like you were saying earlier, I've lived everywhere. Lived on the East Coast. I've lived in Florida, in Michigan, in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Colorado, and California, and I love Texas. I actually went to school and of course, I'm dating myself. I went to school in Flower Bluff, Texas, the same school that Farrah Fawcett went to. Everybody remembers Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors from The Bionic Woman. That's old.
Yes, I miss my hairstyle from then.
The flip.
I loved it.
So I really don't call myself, and I've lived in Tennessee too, which I love. So I really don't really say I'm from anywhere. I know I'm not from this earth.
Well, so before April moved a couple times, when I caught up with her as an adult, she was living out there in Portsmouth.
That's so cool.
My sister and my niece live in Portsmouth. And when my dad was murdered, we were supposed to be going down to Newport News for New Year or for 4th of July.
That's horrible. Gosh, I'm so sorry. That had to be so horrible.
My family's in that part. We might have been able to have met up a long time ago. Maybe we did.
Who knows? We could have bumped into each other anywhere. That's why we kind of recognized each other.
I don't know. But again, if we're really not of this earth, maybe we did. Maybe we were just particles of each other that found each other. Someday, Denise, you and I have to do a show on quantum physics, strand theory, and the concept of time, because I can tell you with all reality, all time is happening right now at once. Mm-hmm. Our concept of time is a construct in our brain. Well, you know what? We should do that. Like I said, we just assigned everybody some homework.
How
They're
fun.
going to have to watch The Village, and when I get back from this trip, we'll get that scheduled.
We're going to have a throwdown, and I'll see if I can hook it up. I can have Jacob help me, and we'll do it. I'll see if I can simultaneously broadcast it on my YouTube channel, Source of St. Michael, because my people would love this. I have not done a show, Denise, since, July.
Okay, well, I
just haven't felt good.
We'll get that set up because we can do that now. We can now simulcast on your channel while we're doing this.
Cool. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting.
So we will do that. And, because right now with us getting ready to move, it is going to be hard trying to schedule shows. And you know what? Maybe just a series of shows with you would probably be a great thing to really get people to know who you are. And,
and we can have some fun doing movies or whatever. And whatever we can talk about aliens. We can talk about time travel. We can talk about just about anything. We do.
And we do. That's the thing. People, I don't know. I know I have people all the time say that they loved it when we would sit on the back porch and just film and talk and just be who we are. And,
it is. It's just relaxing because they feel like they're part of the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is we did have some unusual conversations that a lot of friends don't have. And
that's because of the experiences that we have.
And I don't think it was because we didn't have anything else to talk about, because we do. We have tons and tons of stuff to talk about.
That's the problem. There's not enough time to talk about all this stuff that we got on our minds.
Well, we were just talking the other day, we were getting ready to go someplace, And I said, well, I'd like to stop by and see Farah, but we know that if we stop by and see you, our timeline's already screwed up.
Oh yeah.
We won't get to where we got to go in the time allotted. No, he's shaking his head no. We already know this. So
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to have to drive by the Kabul exit and go,
either that or say, hey, listen, we're going to stop at that great Mexican place in Kabul. If we don't make it an hour, run away and hide so we can't come find you. Not like you don't know where we live because you were at my wedding. But
yeah, I mean, I know where you are. I mean, by the time we get to town, we already know we drove past. But yeah, we know that we drive on our way down there. We have to drive right by your house to get, not your house, but right by your exit to get to, to go to where we're going. Which reminds me,
I'm so happy you guys are relocating. I'm so happy for you guys.
Well, Kansas has changed. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing this. If I had a flip flop, I'd show you guys my flip flop. That's
yeah.
I'm going to the land where the Constitution matters and woke goes to die.
Exactly. Well, and that's why Matthew moved here, because the Constitution does matter. And if you're not living in a state where the Constitution matters,
you don't matter.
No, you don't matter. Your thoughts, your mind, your opinion, you belong to the state. You are a ward of the state.
So basically. But yep, once we get moved, I want everybody to be able to come and visit us if they want to. And Barbara, flip-flops, I have Merrill's and Clark's. I'm ready. Ron just found his sandals. So the bad part is on Sunday it's supposed to rain all day. That's the only day we have for the beach is Sunday.
Is it supposed to rain?
Oh.
Yep. So, but Monday and Tuesday are supposed to be great. So, Virgil, I have always followed the yellow brick road. There is a problem with the yellow brick road, and we probably should address that one too. At some point.
That would be fun sometime.
Yeah, but that's a long movie to address. So, let me go back to this. I had a question in here.
Oh, good.
And this one's from April again. April knows her end of days stuff very well. So April asks, so do you have thoughts on the end of days and the Antichrist? I know you do. I mean, I've heard some of it.
Is she asking both of us or me or what?
You.
They're asking you.
Because I'm going to tell you, I don't even think about that stuff.
Well, for the most part, I don't either. I'm like, bring it. I'm ready, and if you're not ready to meet your maker, you better start getting ready, because it could happen at any time. We do not know the hour that will happen. We do know that it is coming. What will it be? I mean, that's what everybody wants to know. Is it going to be a nuclear attack? Is it going to be China and Russia, bombing the heck out of us? Is it going to be famine? Is it going to be diseases and plagues? Well, we've been given a great book that tells us that, plagues, famine, disease is going to come. And all through history, we've seen famine, plagues, disease happen. So what do I think about the end of the end times? I don't, because you know what? I'm ready. I was in an accident last year where I thought I was dead. I let go of the wheel. I'm like, okay, Jesus, I'm ready. Let's go. Whatever. If you concentrate on the negative aspects of living this life, you're going to miss every beautiful sunset. You're going to miss every beautiful sunrise. You're going to miss the opportunity to just be in your skin and go, yeah, my back hurts. My knees hurt. Yeah, I can't pay my bills. I got this great moment to go, wow, I'm alive. I'm privileged to struggle this fight. So what's going to happen in the days? Does anybody know? You can turn on and they're going to give you some prophetess, some prophetess. Oh, do this, do that, because, end of days are here. Since the time of Christ and beyond, people have been saying we're living in end times. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this goes back to what I was talking to with Denise a minute ago. All time occurs at the same time. Every moment we have is a present for a reason. It's a gift. Your end times are here right now. I could drop dead of a heart attack, and Denise would be like, "Where'd the body go?" And that'd be my end times. Do I worry about, the pestilence and plagues and famines and everything else is going to hit? No. Yeah, I might go a little hungry. I might lose some weight, but we're all going to get through this together. So when it comes to thoughts on end times, I really don't worry about it anymore. We know it's going to happen, and we know who wins the war.
That's predestined.
It is. It's already happened. The evil minions of hell that reign here have already been defeated. So everybody says, so then why are we stuck here? Well, geez, why don't you ask your maker? Well, you got to learn what's going on. Where do you have to be more gentle, be more loving? Where is this path going? I wish I could tell you. When I died and hung out with a bunch of, happy souls, they didn't exactly say, "Hey, guess what? You learned your lesson." No, I got kicked back here. So I don't have the answer.
Do you think that you got kicked back here because you had stuff to do? Or did you get kicked back here because it just wasn't your time?
I got kicked back twice, and I remember crying so bad when, they were spitting the water out of my lungs. I was so sad. I was like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Do I think I had stuff to do? No. You know what I really, really think now, Denise? I think that for whatever reason, that experience was given to me so that I would not get depressed, so that I would not give up, so that I would not lose hope, so I would be able to do what I'm doing with people as a demonologist, as a deliverance minister counselor. I was given that experience to know not only is there something greater, more beautiful, more peaceful than anybody can ever imagine, any word can ever describe. It was like, that's so flipping cool. I don't have fear of just about nothing. And I'm not saying that I'm not afraid of, some wasps chasing me down the road. I'll be screaming like a baby. I'm not saying I don't have other fears, but I'm saying basically, if death couldn't scare me, no demon certainly can. Just can't.
Here's what Virgil has to say. You're very smart. All time exists now if the universe is finite.
It is. Yeah. They're just finding it out in the telescope. Said our universe in the farthest end where that big old black hole is, we're falling into that black hole. We're getting sucked in. So
will we know?
No.
That's the thing. But the end is always near because, as he said, finite. Where nothing is infinite.
There's a time and a place in our mind, in this flesh, in the sun and the moon and the stars. However, in the preternatural and the supernatural it's just incredible. There is no time. There's no time. None.
Well, I mean, we all talk about birth and death. What's that say? Finite. We don't know what the expiration date is.
No, we have no idea.
We could be mayonnaise and not know it. I mean,
tasty.
well, maybe all of us should have been kept in the refrigerator a little longer, but
I think so. Some of us are spoiling and smelling to high heaven.
So I know some of the pictures that I give are. And Barbara, you're right. Live today like there is no tomorrow. But also, yeah, you did. Main thing is that you don't live too much to where you have no tomorrow.
Exactly.
Because you want tomorrow. And do I really want tomorrow? Yeah. Even as bad as sometimes today is, I still want tomorrow. So.
Well, and that's the thing, Denise. Everything here, everything we touch, see, or smell, even water, even plants, is geared toward life. Suicide is an anomaly, and I do not want to offend or hurt any viewers. Suicide is a demonic lie, and it's a serious affliction that I wish I had the key to help people, because it's just so horrifying for somebody, to lose all hope. And if you think about every single, people can't, you and I couldn't walk into the ocean and try and thank you for flashing the suicide and crisis lifeline. We could not drown ourselves. We couldn't, killing ourselves. Our body screams to live. Every cell screams to continue life. We don't choose to die when we die.
No.
The rare few that do, Rosalie, she's so funny. We choose to struggle through this because this is not an easy place to be.
No.
No.
And the other thing is there's a reason we're going through what we're going through. And
yeah, we're just not told what it is. We just don't know what it is. We have no idea.
It may not be for us. It might be as an example for someone else. We don't know.
Exactly.
And, I've had, and again, if you guys are feeling suicidal, you need help, 988, reach out. I'll talk to you. I'll listen.
Please.
And I won't talk at you like I do on the show sometimes, but I'll listen, and anybody here on the network will. So,
yes,
because you matter, no matter who you are. If you're hearing this, just know you matter. You matter to somebody. You matter to me.
You
I only have
very
so many
much.
listeners. I only have so many listeners. I can't afford to lose any. And I'm sorry. I just want you to laugh, people, just because laughter helps get through all the bad things.
Yes, it does.
So,
Your anniversary.
So, let's see. What else are we got? What do we want to talk about tonight? I know what I want to talk about.
Happy anniversary.
What is it that Farah needs to do out there? What is your purpose?
I
I know
don't think I can say it on public airwaves.
Okay. So what is your spiritual purpose?
I think that, we all want to believe that we have a purpose other than what we're doing, other than who we are, whether, we're working as a cashier in Walmart or whether we're a bus driver. We have a purpose, a greater purpose. And instead of being content in the gifts that we have and the voice that we have, the hands that we have, we're thinking there's this purpose. I gotta have this purpose. I gotta have this purpose. There's something, that's calling me. I'm called this minute right now with you, Denise. I'm called to be right here. This is my purpose, to be right here in this minute, to be fully present, not to be worried about tomorrow morning's breakfast, not to be worried about, having, a glass of wine with my husband in a little while, not to be thinking about anything else, but enjoying your presence, to be right here. That is my purpose, to be fully present and talk and be, and just sit and breathe your air. That's my purpose. Nothing more. I'm not here to carve out mountains. I'm not here to, write a bestseller. If I do, it's not something that, I'm going to put my mind to and go, oh, here it is. Or I'm not here to, create the most beautiful jewelry in the world. I'm here to be right here in this moment, whatever that moment is, whether it's being on your show, whether it's writing a book. I'm here to be present. And may my pain and my horrors help someone else through that dark night. That's what I'm here to do.
Rosalie, I saw that you had posted on Facebook that since you've retired, you felt like you've had no purchase and you hate being retired. You know what? Go find something that you love. I mean, go listen to Dave Ramsey's show. He tells everybody every day, do something that you love.
You know what I tell people too, Denise? Especially, Rosalie is one of the most vibrant, loving, generous, giving people I've ever known. She's always 1,000% out there for her friends, for her family, for people she doesn't even know. And I think the reason she feels she has no purpose is because when she went to work, she distributed all that generosity much more easily. Now that she's got time, she's not seeing time as a treasure. Her presence, Rosalie, your presence as a treasure is your purpose, your bubbliness, your laughter, your love of life, your gift of making other people feel special. That's your purpose. You want a purpose. You look in the mirror, Rosalie. You're so unique and you're so animated and lively. So many people do not have your joy. And
she asks the greatest questions all the time.
I know. She's always in the chat and she's encouraging other people and she's commenting, and helping people, put two and two together. It's like, when we're looking for what our purpose is, I want everybody just to take a second. If you're looking for your purpose right now, I want you to look outside your window or outside your car, and I want you to find something that screams at your heart and makes you feel like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. Whatever hurts your heart, you have been called to heal. Not in the way you think you have. Like, if I see, a child beaten on the street, I'm not called to go beat that parent up, but I might be called to work with children at my church. I might be called to, you have to find where your gifts, where you can share what you have with other people. That's your purpose.
Rosalie, little things like, you know what? There may be a nursing home down the street. Maybe your purpose is to go sit and talk to somebody, or just, take
volunteer somewhere, get a part-time job doing what she loves, and she's really great with people.
And she's in a place where being weird is normal.
Exactly. A great place. Great place.
So keep that in mind, Rosalie. We're supporting you 100% in our prayers and in our thoughts, and you will find what you need to be doing for you. So
exactly.
And right now, I think that you didn't do a honey-do list when you retired, before you retired, so that you didn't have a list of stuff that you wanted to do. Maybe that's it. Maybe you need to sit down and write down all those things that you want to do so that you can start getting them done. Maybe you just want to go to the beach and throw some rocks in the water. Do that.
Sounds like fun to me.
And yes, do that historical society or the library thing. I think that you're going to be great.
She would be great at that. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Oh my gosh, you talk about the historical side. She could be a step-on guide, and a step-on guide just gets on tour buses and tells people about the local area, about the haunted attractions. I mean, there's so much she could do.
Yep.
With her personality.
She's got so much stuff that's haunted.
Yes.
Plus so much stuff with history that people wouldn't even think about. Because like in our part of the country, we go back to the Native Americans and stuff, but a lot of the history here is not documented. Where she's at, there is so much documentation that
yes, there is.
Being full of knowledge of your area is excellent, and I think she's gonna find what's right for her. And so I am really glad that you're here today, Rosalie, so that we can tell you what we think about you. We love you and we think you're going to do great.
Oh, totally. And Rosalie, I want you to think of this time right now that you have as a gift. And it's hard to see that because you're struggling and you're like, what's my purpose? But this time you have is this stretching time where the bubble is going to expand and you're going to explode into the next thing you really love doing. So appreciate it. Life is like full of these little seasons and we got to embrace it and we got to jump in and go, okay, yes, I'm bored. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? Thanks God. I'm going to figure this out and go to a park, go to a lecture at a historical society. Find where your bubble is going to pop you next. I think you can do anything you want to, Rosalie.
And Crystal, what we just said means the same for you. And your purpose is for me is I love you. And I wish you weren't in Denver anymore. I wish you were someplace else where you could become the flower that you are. I know that sounds weird, but
Not at all.
I worry about Crystal is April's sister. So she's also my cousin.
Aw.
So I worry about them. And that's that weird story that I told you a long time ago about my grandmother having an affair, having a kid.
Yep.
They're the kids of that affair, and
Oh.
well, the grandchildren of that. So they're my cousins. And I just recently shared a picture of their grandmother.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was so. Their grandmother adopted my grandmother's child.
Wow.
So would have been my they adopted my uncle, and he was raised as my cousin. So get out your scorecard. Yeah, okay, everybody, get this all out. We should one day. I should play the Paranormal Pride bingo. You know, I'm gonna start making up cards for this, but it is an unusual story, and how we found each other again as family is amazing. And it's not just once that we found each other; it's been twice.
Wow.
And their dad, I saw all the time when I was a kid. So, but it's a weird story, and Lord, we don't care about your typos. We're just glad you're here. So
exactly, glad to have you.
So you've got some stuff coming up besides your birthday, which you are not going to be 60. You are going to be 29. So get over that. Again.
That would scare my husband. I scare him now.
Whoa. Well, he knew what he was stepping into.
I think he did.
I actually, when we met him, I'm pretty sure he did. So
yeah.
Yeah, he said he's up for the challenge. I think he overstepped that challenge. So just a little bit. So you got that coming up. You got your wedding anniversaries coming up as well in the next month and a half. Well, 2 months almost.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, mine it's coming too. So, do you guys have any plans this year?
Basically, we just, like I said, we just finished getting, that Springfield house taken care of, probate court. That was like the big issue, Denise. Mm-hmm. When you please people, if you have a house, if you have any property, make a will. Even if you just write it down on paper, mail it to yourself, it's something legal. Your heirs can go to court with, and they can get what you want them to have. If you die without a will anywhere, it's a mess. The state can take over, and it's a scary thing. And none of us think we're going to die. So what my husband and I are talking about doing right now is, because we want to be sustainable, because we consider ourselves kind of homesteaders, and we're trying to learn, and we miss doing videos for people so they can learn how we're learning. But we put in a small, it's called a retaining pond here in Missouri. Mm-hmm. We're going to put some bluegill in it and get it ready for it to be a self-sustaining, stream of food for us. Because I love to fish, love to eat fish. Then, because I've always wanted, do you remember the pond in the backyard in Springfield that we used to sit up at night and have cocktails to? Oh, yeah. We're going to do something that is going to be a swim pond pool that is going to be, live fish, all kinds of stuff. That's basically going to be the same thing as Springfield, except it's going to be a bigger area. And if anybody's not familiar what I'm talking about, what a spring or a swim pool is, it's a body of water that the plants filter the water with the fish poop and give you crystal clear water that you can swim in with no chlorine. And the nice thing is that you have these wonderful plants. I want to do an herb garden, in the rocks, and I want to be able to swim in it and not have to worry about the chlorine. So, that's kind of like a little bit. I mean, we wanted to do pigs this year. I don't think we're going to do that. We want to do those cute little, the pasture pigs, run them out to pasture. But, so there's that. And we're probably going to, we thought about, Denise seriously thought about doing a retreat area, putting some small homes so I can, teach people, because I've been dying to expand my repertoire and go back into, just one-on-one, class size, like 5 to 12 of, meditation and a variety of things that I could teach by getting people to experience being outside, breathing clean air and just getting the heck away, putting their cell phone down, their electronics down, disconnecting from that stream of consciousness that's constantly spilling poison in our minds, and getting people to a place where they can open themselves up to, like Rosalie was saying, where's my purpose? Where am I going? What am I doing? And help people find and heal what it is that they're just not quite sure where they're at. That's what I kind of like to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve that here this year or next. But I'm looking at doing some kind of retreat for people. And maybe it'll be, on teaching people to recognize the demonic in everyday life. I don't know yet.
I don't know. You'll figure it out. You always do. You're one of the people that you're not sitting on your laurels. Even when you're sitting on your laurels, you're not. You're doing something all the time. You're like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, I am.
But with a bottle of Jameson's.
That's right.
Or 4 Roses. So,
yes, or 4 Roses, or Pendleton, or maybe just a nice, Cabernet Sauvignon. I mean,
chocolate wine.
Yes, chocolate sounds good about.
Or pineapple moonshine.
Oh, that was so good.
We still have some in our refrigerator.
I didn't know we had any.
So, but you were talking about homesteading. I watched this guy called Riverside Homestead Life. This guy has got lots of information.
Yeah.
He seems to do the same video over and over again, but he seems to have a lot of information that's really helpful in a power outage or stuff like that. And I like him. He seems knowledgeable. He seems happy. He's easy to listen to.
Yes, that makes a big difference anytime you're trying to impart information.
So, I don't know, maybe you should do something along the lines of like Motivational Doc does. You need to watch some of his stuff,
Oh, I do. I subscribe to him. He's very direct, very to the point. And yeah, I'm just not sure. I am, really, I'm trying to be in my season of healing right now.
Like I said, you got lots of time to think about this. And
scribble notes.
Yeah.
And pray and just figure it out.
The thing about Motivational Doc is his videos are only 3 to 10 minutes. None of them are very long. But
I know Jacob was telling me to do that. You got to do short videos, Mom. I'm like,
you're going, I can't be short-winded.
How can I do that? I go on and on and on because I have so much information to get out. I got to learn to pocketize things.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys, if you're out there and you're looking for something, anything that might be doctor related, health related, check out Motivational Doc.
He is brilliant.
His Dr. Mandel is his
name.
Yeah,
Dr. Mandel. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant.
I mean, things like just how to breathe better,
Yep.
and he says to breathe in, but when you breathe out, hum. It'll help you withhold more oxygen. It takes a little longer to breathe it out, but it makes your lungs stronger.
He covers everything from migraines to foot pain to hip pain he covers a lot of stuff.
And I know Susan, she's been listening to him as well. He's just very interesting to hear. And he's not telling you, go take this prescription. He's telling you a natural way to deal with stuff.
Exactly. And that is the best way.
Yep.
When all else fails, that's when we turn to doctors and medical science.
But
we have to try.
Don't be afraid to go to the doctor, though.
No, never be afraid to go to the doctor. Just do your best to take care of your body naturally first.
So,
yeah.
Oh, well, if anybody has any follow-up questions for Farah before we're coming up on the end of the show. So if you guys have any questions for Farah, please get them out there. And because I can sit here and talk to her all night. Funny thing is we can talk about nothing and make it something. So don't be aware of that. So
I know, that's what's so funny. It's like, that's my line. Throw a word at us, we can go off on it.
Oh yeah. So the bad part is last year I was telling you, I said, Ron had asked me, he goes, well, what do you want to do for our wedding anniversary? And this was at the beginning of May.
Yeah.
You hadn't mentioned anything yet about getting married or anything like that. And I had said to Ron, I said, I just want to go, I want to go down and I want to go see Farah. I said, that's what I want to do.
Bug fair.
Huh? Bug fair? Well, it could have been the bug fair. I said, I want to go see Farah.
You can bug me anytime. We got a spare room.
Oh, I know. And Barbara, you can ask your political question. I'm fine with that.
Please do. We love politics.
So,
Go Biden.
I asked you what you were doing. And you said, I don't know. We're probably going fishing. And I was like, okay, well, then.
Either fish or get married.
And I never came up with anything else. Everything I came up with, it was like, I don't really want to do that. And then you call me and you say, getting married. And I don't know when yet. But then you sent me an invitation. It's like, okay, well, I told Ron, I said, I'd been telling you all month that we were going to be spending our anniversary with Farah. And we did. So
I know, that was perfect. That was so great.
It was. So Barbara asks, what is your opinion on Trump's indictment?
Okay. You want my opinion? It's bull pucky. Why is the indictment bull? Number one, if you have not paid attention to the actual reality of ballots being dumped, of UPS drivers and USPS drivers dumping bags of military ballots during the Biden-Trump presidency
that's
race.
The whole idea behind it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, love you too. Thank you, sweetie. So it's like, what about this indictment? What about this indictment is real? You're looking at a dog and pony show that is run by, shall I say, Middle East cash, pedophile working a mental patient in the White House. God forgive me if I insulted somebody, but you know what? We are not living in reality right now. So Trump's indictment is another, shall we say, it's for show, to try and basically show people that had some hope with, Trump's base, that there might be a chance for some normalcy, and when I say normalcy, I don't really mean normalcy, but just for our constitutional rights to be upheld, because they've been whittled away since before Kennedy was in office to where we really don't have a lot of rights left. And his indictment is one more stone's throw at shall we say, another face masking episode. It's all about control. And when you control a population with mind games, it's only a matter of time before, you convince them, abort your babies. You are our puppets. You will eat when we tell you. You will move when we tell you. You will vote what we tell you. So, I see it as population control. I see it as mind control. It's just a game. It's a shell game with these people. And I don't think that the indictments are going to hold up. I think that they're going to probably pull more people like Stormy Daniels out of the network. That, he's a wealthy guy. Did he say, go grab him by the pee? Heck yeah. I've heard a lot of guys say that, but they go home and they love their wives and they don't screw around on them. But that's just how guys talk. So did he have something with Stormy Daniels? Maybe he did. That's between him and his wife. That's not for my business if I'm going to vote for him to take care of the business of managing the United States of America. So when people take this moral, virtue signaling high ground that, oh, well, I don't want that man. I don't really know of hardly any president that's absolutely perfect like Jesus Christ that has actually held office. Maybe somebody does. I don't know any. So the whole Trump indictment is just, it's a bunch of blowhard crap that will probably all get thrown out of court. But they're trying to whittle away at his money, at the American confidence level, and, strip away our rights. So 6 of this, half a dozen of another.
Yeah.
Sorry to be so long-winded.
Yep.
And forget about all the other stuff that they did.
Hey, wag the dog. Where are they giving billions of dollars again?
Hello, Matt.
It's my Mr. Matt. Oh my gosh, that is my hat.
Yeah,
that is the hot younger man.
Do you have a question?
No, he goes, that's my
Do you have a question? He's listening to my rant.
I know, he can probably hear you in the other room. So
he probably can because I got such a big mouth. Do I feel God works through people? Say, of course he does. Excuse me. Look at some of the fallen, disgusting, reviling, horror humping people of the Bible. It's like God can use anybody. Does that mean that, evil people are going to be used by God? Yes. Okay. Because why? Because everything that evil person does, 20 good people are going to counter their dumb butts. And guess what? It's going to work out for God. It's going to bring people a piece that they've never known. So don't worry about whether Trump is good or he's bad or worry about ourselves. Worry about your community. Worry about the people that you love and you care about. The buffoons in office they're smoke and mirrors.
So Rosalie, she goes, she hopes you're right, Farah. I have no one to discuss this with other than my son. Everyone else thinks the indictment is wonderful. It's refreshing to hear others make sense.
You got it. Well, okay, Rosalie, then, okay, are you ready to say 3 rosary novenas a day? Because, girl, those people are brainwashed. They got brain scrubbed, totally brain scrubbed.
And Barbara says you're her kind of people. And Crystal agreed with her and also said that people have lost their minds.
Oh, yeah.
And Rosalie, find Barbara DeSant on Facebook, and she has a couple shows here on the network, so you will do that for 54 days again. Rosalie asks.
Yes, for your children. Pray that the scales are removed so that they actually can receive the truth. Because, okay, let me tell you guys something. We're talking about spiritual warfare. We're talking about paranormal stuff. Hello, if the devil was not in the news, where would he be? He's not going to be at your doorstep going, hey, do you want a Bible? No, he's going to be in your face saying, oh, this is horrible. This is terrible. Oh, you need this. We are being convinced with ads, with television, look at your Walmart, your Target. Every single ad is geared to bend your mind to a certain direction. And when you're there, what do they feed you? More Kool-Aid. Why? Because it feels good. Why? Because it tells you you're beautiful, you're smart, you're brilliant. You can do anything. You can buy any career. You can go to school and you can just be, you can be a physicist. You're stupid. I'm sorry. But the more you buy into what's in your face, the more deluded you are.
She says it was an accident when she said 54 days. She goes, I thought Ken was going to choke from laughing. He probably said 4 or 5 days.
It happens. That brings us to a great point is that, with all this crazy stuff going on, the Trump indictments, the banks trying to go, give me a handout. I'm like the auto industry. Come and, watch my butt so I can keep in business. Okay. So what does that mean, guys? That means, you know what? Bend over, grab your derriere and kiss it hello and kiss your neighbor. Have fun with life. Don't worry about these idiots.
Just spread that shit everywhere, right?
Thank you. You got it. And you had to say it out loud.
Well, sometimes people they can't read between the lines. We have to open them up a little bit so they can see what the words are.
We have to be a joy and an encourager to each other because life is just too full of the donkeys.
Well, You know, Barbara, I can't. Ron's in your yard there, Barbara. He wants Trump to be president again, so DeSantis can run in 2028, so that we can have 12 years of Republicans. That's what Ron wants. So I would.
Well, it would be nice.
Selfish. When I move to the land of the Constitution and where woke goes to die, I want DeSantis to be my governor at least for a couple years.
You want 2 years of peace down in Florida?
Yes, I want to get away from.
Oh, I don't think it's
the governor of Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get away from that. It's going to
keep going more red.
So I would like to thank everyone for being on here tonight and listening. And my guest again had canceled on me because of she had too many people in her house. I have her rescheduled for the week that we get back, whatever that is, the 17th. I have Lena scheduled for the 17th of April. And then we are going to have Farah back if she can after that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to
be doing M. Night Shyamalan,
yes,
The Village.
We're going to dig into that. And we're
you guys better watch.
Yeah, watch The Village. And if you have questions about other M. Night Shyamalan movies, let us know. And let me know in advance so I can rewatch them. Because the only other one the Mel Gibson one with the hats.
I don't like that one.
That's a killer one. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, we got that one. And then the one with Bruce Willis, I See Dead People.
Oh, that one was really good.
That was a great one too. Oh my gosh, we could go off on that one.
That was a great movie.
So those three, we've seen. We can at least
had to watch that a couple times.
Yeah, we did have to watch that. Signs, right? Signs.
Yeah.
So we can watch those. Unbreakable, I didn't care for.
I thought it was just like comic book nuttiness.
Yeah. So we're going to check out those three. So I'll have Farah back on, and we will go through that. And make sure you check out everything on the network. We got shows every night, just about. If not, we've got replays out there. Check them out, and join us tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. And I'm going to tell you about some stuff that's happened today here at our house. It's been kind of funny. Maybe I can explain to you how I see spirits. We don't know. So we'll check that out. So join us here every week at 7 p.m. Central. Just not next Monday. I won't be here for the Paranormal Pride. And I can't wait to hear what you guys all have to say. And Rosalie and Crystal, you guys have purposes. And part of that purpose is to make me smile. So keep that up. So you guys have a great night.
The views expressed here are solely the opinions of the hosts and the guests, and not necessarily those of the network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. If you have an issue with the content of the show, please contact the show host.